Feels like it would be wrong to not make a video about card acquisition at the moment, as that is the big boogeyman in the Marvel Snap community. Matchmaking has been improved, that's fantastic. But the way in which you gather cards is the next thing on the chopping block, I guess. Now look, card acquisition in Marvel Snap has always been quite controversial. Unlike other card games, there aren't booster packs, you get single cards. In general, a card in Marvel Snap is valued a lot higher than a new card in another game, because in a game like Hearthstone, an expansion comes out and you get like 150 new cards. Some of them will be good, some of them will be trash. In Marvel Snap, in theory, there are much fewer cards, so every single card should be playable in some way. When you look at the full Marvel Snap collection, there aren't that many cards which are just sort of objectively bad. And when I say objectively bad, I mean cards that will not get played in any deck ever, realistically. I mean, Elektra is the main one that springs to mind for me, and even then in Series 1, Elektra's pretty good before you have access to Killmonger. Quicksilver's pretty bad. Misty Knight's good in Patriot decks. Uatu's pretty bad, I guess. You know, there's a place for a lot of these cards. Medusa's bad, but good in Series 1. You know, and of the new Series 5 cards that have been released, Null is, I don't think Null's amazing, but it's definitely playable in certain decks. The Shadow King is pretty unplayable. Shanna is pretty unplayable. Dazzler is pretty unplayable. But most of the new cards released do have at least a use case. So does that mean that the system is good? Does that mean that the system is being done correctly? I think that it would be great if Second Dinner could be just a little bit more liberal with the new cards that the game gives you. If you're a mostly free-to-play player, I'm going to be talking to you as if you're a free-to-play player who also buys the season pass every month, which, you know, to be fair, that is like $10 a month that you're spending. It's not even close to free to play, really. And I think overall you get access to the new Series 3 cards essentially for free every time there's a drop, and 2 Series 4 cards, like one on the token shop and one by opening it from a box. Maybe, let's say 2.5 Series 4 cards, to be fair. You'll probably get tokens for one. You'll probably open 3 Series 4 cards every 2 months. Or instead of buying a Series 4 card with tokens, you could buy a Series 5 card, but you'll get them less frequently. You get the Season Pass card as well. So in general, on average, you'll get about 4 or 5 cards a month, which, when you put it that way, definitely doesn't sound quite so bad. I think it's a system that's going to become more and more sort of complete over time. You know, as the pool of Series 3 and Series 4 and Series 5 cards get bigger, there'll be more cards for you to collect. Obvious statement that. Looking at this upcoming series drop, we have Orca, Atuma, and M'Baku dropping from Series 4 to Series 3, and we have Zabu, which of course was a season card, so it doesn't necessarily count in quite the same way. Sauron, Shadow King, Shanna, and Dazzler all moving down to Series 4. Now, the cards moving down to Series 4 I don't think are quite as relevant in my opinion. Yes, it halves their cost in the token shop, but realistically you're still only going to get one Series 4 card every 20 or so days in boxes. So realistically, Series 4 is now bloated enough where you're going to have cards to open in the Series 4 set constantly anyway. More cards filling up that slot isn't going to mean that you're going to unlock cards faster. It just means that if you really want one of these cards specifically, you have a cheaper way of accessing it in the token shop. The Series 4 cards moving down to Series 3 are much more relevant because they fill up the Series 3 card pool. If you're Series 3 complete, you're guaranteed one of these in every 4 boxes. For me personally, I already have M'Baku, so I know that if I open 8 boxes the day that the series drop happens, I'm guaranteed to get Orca and Atuma. So I do think that card acquisition is something that is going to mostly solve itself over time. You're always going to have new stuff to open, and on average, you will be getting those 4 or 5 cards every single month if you buy the season pass. That's not that bad, especially if you consider that all of the cards are playable. Well, okay, these cards on screen now are a pretty bad example, but you know, Orca, Atuma, and M'Baku, Zabu, and Sauron all have pretty reasonable use cases. The problems with the card acquisition system that I hear a lot is, firstly, and this one is primarily content creators that complain about it, it's difficult to get the new card the moment it releases, although I believe Second Dinner have made a change so that when a new card releases, it will always be the first thing that pops up in the token shop. That's great for content creators who want to get the card instantly and, you know, make a video covering it, release it as quickly as possible, and farm them beautiful views. Honestly, that's a grind that I just cannot do anymore. I'm getting too old for this content creatory stuff. But perhaps it's bad for players that don't want to buy Series 5 cards. Maybe they're always short on tokens and they'd rather get more cards more quickly, and so they'd rather spend them on Series 4 and Series 3 cards. Unfortunately, that is sort of a bit of a trick. If I was to buy Null right now for 3,000 collector's tokens, I'm pretty sure that I would be disappointed in a couple months. Because if my memory is right, these are the last original Series 4 cards to move down to Series 3, which I believe should mean that next month, the first Series 5 cards that drop to Series 4 should be dropping to Series 3, which should be Valkyrie, Shuri, and it's less risky to just check. Super Skrull, Valkyrie, Shuri, Black Panther, and Bast. Okay, so they might actually only drop 2 or 3 of these. So maybe they'll drop, say, 3 of these, and then maybe the other 2 along with Null in the following series drop. Yeah, because Null is in the set that was the very next one to drop. So if I was to buy Null right now, I believe in 2 months I'd be disappointed when Null drops down to Series 3 and I would have got it for free. It really depends to the extent that you want to min-max the game, but in my opinion, cards are so valuable in Marvel Snap, it makes sense to spend tokens as efficiently as possible. So therefore, personally speaking, I will only ever spend tokens on Series 5 cards when they're brand new. Or better yet, Series 5 cards that you know aren't going to drop down to Series 4, like Kang, Galactus, and Thanos. They are the only good long-term spends for your collector's tokens, aside from Ultimate Variants, which, again, as far as we know, are never going to be available in any other way. The thing that I do not like about Marvel Snap's card acquisition system personally is the luck factor. I've made it a habit to not open boxes if I know that a series drop is coming soon. That's why I've got 5,500 credits saved up. I will be saving these boxes until the series drop happens. That is because you only get one Series 4 card in every 40 boxes. If I was to open a box now and get Orca or Atuma, I would be devastated. That would be my one Series 4 card in 40 boxes used up. What a waste. I would much rather wait until the series drop happens, open some boxes, and pull Shanna or Dazzler or Shadow King, etc. Well, maybe not those 3 cards because they're completely garbage. But you get the idea. It sucks to me that it's so easy to pull cards that are going to move down, meaning that you've sort of wasted the one new card that you get in a given month because you're taking away essentially from a card you could get for free the following month. So that's one of my issues with the card acquisition system. The other issue that I have is the rarity of Series 5 cards in general. I'm not saying that Series 5 cards shouldn't be rare. I'm saying that at the moment they're absurd. So for those of you that don't know, the way that it works is that Series 3 cards, you are guaranteed to have 1 in every 4 boxes. That means that when this system started, in theory, if you opened 4 boxes, 1 of them would be a Series 3 card guaranteed. If you opened another 4 boxes, 1 of them would be a Series 3 card guaranteed. Say that you opened 4 boxes and the very first one was a Series 3 card. It would be possible that the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th boxes all don't contain a Series 3 card. But in that case, the 8th one would be guaranteed because again, it's 1 in every set of 4. Series 4 cards work the same way, except it's 1 in every set of 40. Again, that means if in your first set of 40, the Series 4 card is the first card, it's possible that you could open 79 boxes without getting a second Series 4 card. 1 in 40 is not the minimum amount of cards you can get, and it's also not the maximum amount of cards you can get. It is just how many cards you will get, 1 in every set of 40 boxes. There is 100% good luck protection and 100% bad luck protection there, by which I mean there's no luck whatsoever. This, I think, is fine. It mostly takes away from the getting unlucky factor of it. The only way that you'd get unlucky with Series 4 cards is if the Series 4 card you get is one that's next going to drop down. It's unfortunate, but it's just a side effect of how the series drop system works. Now, Series 5 cards are a whole other ballpark. You get 1 Series 5 card in every 400 boxes that you open on average. This is not a guarantee. It's not 1 guaranteed in every 400 boxes. It is 1 in every 400 on average. That means you could get really lucky and open 1 every 100. You could get really unlucky and open 1,000 boxes and not get any Series 5 cards whatsoever. Now, I'm going to complain about this in particular because I, at collection level 6,700, have not opened a single Series 5 card. Whereas I know of multiple other people that have opened 2 or sometimes even 3 Series 5 cards, including people that are a lower collection level than me. This seems wild to me, given just how valuable Series 5 cards are. Series 5 cards cost 6,000 collector's tokens if you are to buy them, which, if you're as unlucky as me, is literally the only way to get access to them. Now, I made a video a while back questioning how much money it would cost to get every single variant in Marvel Snap. Well, that video is wrong now because there are so many more variants. The principles and the maths behind the video still make sense. And you can use the same logic I did to work out how much money a Series 5 card is worth. I worked out that 500 collector's tokens is worth 16,000 gold. 6,000 collector's tokens would be worth essentially 20,000 gold. And 20,000 gold is around £250. So there's no good luck protection and no bad luck collection on cards that are worth £250 each. And because I've gotten unlucky, my collection is worth £750 less than other players' collections because they've gotten lucky. In my opinion, that is the biggest issue with the collector system. If you're taking away good luck and bad luck from the most of the game, why take it away from the most expensive thing in the game? I believe that in general, Marvel Snap's card acquisition system is actually okay. Through Series 3, sure, you get cards sort of more slowly over time, and it sucks because you're used to getting them quickly in Series 1 and Series 2. But it's actually not that bad. You tend to get a new card every few days. That's fine. The more cards that you get in Marvel Snap, the more possibilities open up to you. A deck is only 12 cards, so really unlocking one new card can increase the amount of combos for you exponentially. Things slow down again once you're Series 3 complete, and as I said, I tend to get about 3, 4, maybe if I'm lucky, 5 new cards every month. And that's good. But the Series 5 card acquisition system needs to change because at the moment, it's just not fair. Thanks for watching. Do you agree with what I had to say? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you once again, of course, to my Patreons for the month of March. I really, really appreciate you. For everyone watching, if you'd like to do me a huge favor and help support my content, the link is in the description below. And I'll see you in the next one.